Welcome to the HR Happy Hour Work Break. You are here live with me and my guest host, Frank Zubon. How are you?
Good, Trish. How are you today?
I'm good. I was teasing you before we went live because I said if you put a ball cap on, people might not have noticed that you're not Steve Boese. You guys look a lot alike.
Well, with my recent addition, which was inspired by Steve, I noted a couple weeks ago on one of your breaks that Steve was growing a little bit of a full beard.
Yeah.
And I just stopped shaving. I'm boycotting the shave.
You know, who knew that Steve Boese is still a trendsetter, even when he's not trying to be, right?
Well, and I have to tell you that Tammy showed her approval of this process by buying me a beard conditioning kit for Christmas. It was in my stocking. When I looked at it, she looked and said, "That's my seal of approval for now."
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, how is Tammy? You mentioned Tammy. Obviously, the whole Twitterverse in our world knows Tammy. How's Tammy doing?
She's doing well. She's doing well. We're keeping busy here with this crazy place we bought last year. That's the guest house. And we've got a couple of the suites finished. And of course, I'm still working full time and she's still doing consulting part-time. So we're keeping pretty darn busy.
Well, let me ask you about that because I know that right before the pandemic, for anyone who's not familiar, you did buy a guest house, right? You were going to do like Airbnb, right?
Yes.
With it. Have you been able to do that at all? Or is it still truly, you haven't? Okay. So guests are coming in.
Yeah, okay. And we've restricted it somewhat. We do some very safe, limited things. And the guest house are nice because they're very separate suites and they have separate heating, cooling systems. And, you know, we have an agreement with any guests that we swap out filters. We do the prescribed cleaning surfaces. We have days in between guests and things like that.
Okay.
Before the pandemic, it was quite a bit more hectic. You were doing back-to-back kind of turnovers of guests coming and going. So we were conditioning ourselves to that pace.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, you know, March of this year hits and everything canceled. Everything, literally, all reservations canceled out of Airbnb, everybody. So because Ohio was one of the states that did a pretty hard shutdown.
Right.
And we worked through that, and that was fine. We just did some extra work on the upcoming suite, so it wasn't like a collapse type thing. You know, a lot of small businesses are in a lot worse shape. I know that for a fact because there's small businesses in our area here who are really struggling a lot more. So we kind of were in a good position of not being what you would call all in financially. So it was still a part-time business venture for us and still is. So we're able to manage it like that. So the development's been a little slower than we would have liked because we would have had 4 suites completed now. We have 2 suites completed now. And we literally throttle some of the rentals. We're more selective, longer term periods. Like I said, we build in all these days between, and frankly, a lot of people are choosing not to travel right now too. And then we still have the townhouse that you visited. You hung out with us over there, and that's an available unit as well. And that, of course, is very private for folks. And you know, because it's a separate residence. So
right. Well, listen. So for you, like, where can people, if they want to come to Cleveland, right? And see, because there is still a lot going on. I mean, obviously it's scaled back. You'd have to kind of seek it out, but where can they find you? Do they just go to Airbnb? How do they look up where your
they'd be best off if somebody's planning a trip and watching this, they'd be best off to hit me on Twitter and I can direct them if one of our suites would fit what they might need.
Well, I want to come. I want to come in the spring.
Absolutely. And hopefully by springtime, there'll be a good growing percentage of folks on the vaccination kind of trail so that we're going to feel a little bit safer about traveling. I know that's still got, from our best guess right now, several months to really make an impact on the general U.S. population, but we'll see.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully. I mean, they're saying by summertime, hopefully we'll start seeing some more.
The sooner the better. This has been a challenge for everybody involved. I mean, I think we both know people who have lost family members.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
We know people who have lost jobs because of this, and who have had their careers disrupted one way or another. So it's as far as disruptive events, and me, I'm old, as far as disruptive events in my lifetime, this is absolutely the most disruptive thing I've gone through. So.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think we learn a lot about resilience when we're challenged with this. Obviously, you have a small business. I've got a small business. It's not been a great year in 2020, but it's bouncing back a little bit. I am seeing some budgets kind of opening up. People are spending money a little bit more. And to your point of just, shopping local, supporting small businesses, I think that, we're still seeing a lot of that where I live as well. So that's all good. Hey, listen, I want to change topics a little bit, because we're going to do it as if it were Steve. I told you I'm not going to tell you what we're going to talk about today, but
I don't have that ball cap handy, so I can't.
You don't.
I can't fully dress it.
You'll just have to see what you think. So it's almost New Year's, and I actually, you know what? I am traveling later today, and I'm not going to be doing the work break tomorrow with Steve. He's going to be doing it with someone else. So you're my New Year's Eve, New Year's Eve, work break. So what I thought I would talk about. You
want me to bridge the gap and do it with Steve tomorrow and be kind of a connector for you two?
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Social connector.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell him. I'm going to tell him that. No, I was reading this article the other day about how Japan sent a space capsule to an asteroid, and it was called I'm going to read it because the Hayabusa 2. Have you heard of this?
I have not.
It was a refrigerator-sized vessel that went out and was taking soil samples from the surface and down inside this asteroid. Okay. And it has come back, and it's only the second time that someone has been able to get samples from an asteroid. So they're going to be studying soil samples, rock samples, that sort of thing. But they're calling it a time capsule because really, like, the samples they're collecting are from potentially millions of years ago. And so we're going to hopefully find out a lot about space through this sampling. And they're going to be giving some of it to the US, and I think it said 2022, but Japan's going to keep it for now and kind of do the initial research. But it got me thinking about time capsules and the end of the year and stuff like that. And I wondered, have you ever created a time capsule? Put anything in somebody else's time capsule? Is that a thing? Have you and Tammy ever done that, or for your grandkids?
I remember elementary school time frame in like 3rd or 4th grade, we did a time capsule.
Really?
Yeah. And this would have been, mid to later 60s. I can recall actually having some kind of event in school where our classes, each class or each grade level did some sort of time capsule. I think we had to write like a paper about it or something, and that went in, and then some, collect physical effects like the normal kind of time capsule project. That's interesting.
Well, I was thinking, wouldn't it be fun to do it? Because of all years, right? I mean, not that every year isn't special in some way, but like this has been a tough year. So wouldn't it be interesting to create a time capsule of whether it's your notes, your thoughts, a mask, some hand sanitizer,
I was thinking that a mask would.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know you've got little grandchildren, like, and have them open it in 20 years or something, like, and look back and be like, wow, that was a big shift, and see how far we've come. I don't know. It just struck me as like, I think I might want to create a time capsule and just try, because just to try and remember how it feels. Because I'm not big on journaling. I love to blog and write about work things, but I don't really put my feelings down. I'm someone who will write things down and then get it off my chest, and then a week later blow it away, gone, deleted. So I'm thinking, I don't know. I think I might do a time capsule.
Now, is this going to be an HR-centric time capsule, or are you going to look for artifacts and things that are around our, kind of our shared professional background?
Wouldn't that be interesting?
What would we put in an HR time capsule, Trish?
I think we should do that. I think anybody listening,
a resume has to go in. We have to start.
A resume has to go in. So
right.
if you're watching this, anyone in HR wants to participate, let Frank know, let me know. Let's do a time capsule. Let's figure this out, because we get
suggestions. I mean,
we get about 1,500 views a day on these shows. So maybe we can get, even if 20 or 30 people sent one thing.
I'm going to be like almost famous.
You are almost famous.
I recall when I met Hung Lee in London several years back. We had never met. We had just interacted a few times online. So, oh man, you're Twitter famous.
You are Twitter famous.
I'm like, I'm not sure if that's like an insult or what it is.
You know what? It's a good thing, I think, because to your point, it's like you can go to another country and actually just feel close ties with someone you've never met before and feel far more welcome than just a random traveler, right? You would, I don't know. I think
that's been one of the things that the HR social media connections have provided for me. I know they've provided that probably to a much greater extent to you, and you've used it in your business a bit more than I have. I've always kept that part as just kind of my social contact list. And my social interactions. If I want to go to a conference, I decide to go to a conference. If I can get my employer at the time to pay for it, they pay for it. If not, I decide if I want to go on my own. And you have obviously a business around some of those activities that's important too. But I think you're right. I think that connection, and this goes all the way back to our HR Evolution days, right? We didn't know each other from, just a little profile on Twitter. And all of a sudden we decide you and your team decide to bring together a bunch of social connections like that. It's great. It is a real benefit to my life. What is that? 11 years ago now? That was 2009.
2009. Yeah, it's a long time ago. You know what? And I will say too, and it wasn't every single person, but a lot feel like family. I mean, you feel like family to me. Tammy feels like family. It doesn't feel like someone I met at a conference at all. You know, it's much closer. So
those are real connections. That's cool.
Absolutely. So, well, hey, listen, we're going to let everyone go. We've kept them for a little bit here and given a break. So thanks for coming on with me.
You're welcome.
In my last break of the year.
I was resting after lunch, looking at Twitter like I usually do. And I saw your tweet pop up and I'm like, okay, what is this about? So good time.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Well, I will let Steve know about your offer for tomorrow. That would be awesome to end the year with Frank and your thoughts and musings.
Boy, your viewer ratings might start going down.
No, they're probably going to go up.
If that knucklehead's back on, I'm not watching. I got other things to do.
All right. Well, you have a happy new year. Tell Tammy to do the same. All the kiddos, all the littles, everything. So I will talk to you in the new year. Thanks everyone for watching. As always, we appreciate it. Hey, and if you have an idea for the HR time capsule, hit Frank, hit me, let us know, and let's put this together. Maybe that's our project for 2021. So we will see you back here tomorrow.
Bye.